guys for watching again. I am so thankful that you guys even tuned in to watch this and that some of you guys even watched my video. I promise you, I really was just doing that because I thought that it might be helpful, but I had no clue so many people would like it or watch it. Like, I was sitting at my computer stunned. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of background. This channel is not just going to be college videos. We will have a ton of those. But it's also going to be encouragement. For me, sometimes in college or even in high school, I just needed a video that was going to help me get through the week, because there was some low points. And that's really what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be all about self-improvement. It's going to be about encouraging you. It's also going to be about growing you. So I'm just so excited that you guys have decided to take this journey with me. So today's topic is embracing the beauty in you. And the reason I'm doing this is because for me, I'm just now starting to get to a place where I am completely comfortable with me. I'm completely comfortable with my body. I'm completely comfortable with my hair. I'm comfortable with, my friends, and I'm not letting the negativity that people say about me disrupt my train of thought. But I haven't always been like that. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are going through a process where they feel like, number one, they're not worth it, and that they have to do all these extra things or try to put out a persona of themselves that's not really them, just so they'll be liked or they'll get likes on Instagram and stuff like that. And those things really don't matter when you really think about it. And I just want to encourage you guys, because I've been there. I've been at those low points where number one, I didn't feel like I was worth it. I didn't feel like I was worth being in a relationship. I didn't feel like I wasn't a good friend. I felt like a horrible person because that's what I had heard from so many different people. And that's not who I am. And until I really started finding myself, I couldn't love anybody else because I didn't know how. Because I was so self-conscious of myself. So I want to encourage you guys today. We're going to go over a few different levels. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. So there are a few layers to really embracing you. Number one is know whose you are. A lot of us go to church on Sunday. Some of us even go to Bible study on Wednesday. And we don't really encounter God. We got to get in the habit of just going to church, lifting our hands, a few claps to the praise team, all that kind of stuff. But we're not really encountering God. And once you have that encounter with God and you talk to Him regularly, you'll know who you are. Because there are a lot of things that the Bible says about us being conquerors, about us being beautiful, about how we're priceless, just like we're more priceless than rubies. We are completely above all the jewels that we see. But we would know that because we're not encountering God. We're not talking to Him. And when you don't know who you are in Him and that agape love means that it's unconditional, and that's love you can only get from God. But if you don't know that, if you don't know that He's calling you His prince or His princess, and that He's saying all these amazing things about you, you don't really know. So you're missing that whole layer and it's a big chunk of yourself that you're missing. Really, it's your whole self that you're missing. And a lot of us are going through that. So when we're trying to embrace ourselves, we're not sure what to believe because we're hearing things from our parents and they're saying, you're not going to ever be anything, or you're just like your dad, or you're just like your mom, and things like that. That's not what God is really saying about us. Or some of our parents are speaking so well of us, but we don't believe it in ourselves because we haven't found whose we are. We know who we are to other people. We know who we are to our best friend. We know who we are to our boyfriend or girlfriend. We know who we are to our cousins, but we don't know who we are to Him. And so essentially, we don't know who we are. And phase 2 is about embracing that. And not letting what other people say about you become you. For years, people called me bougie. People still call me bougie to this day. Mind you, I'm not bougie at all. Yes, for the majority of my life, I've been in private school. Just happened like that. I've been afforded a lot of opportunities. I've been able to see and do a lot of things because my mother has put me in programs. She's exposed me to a lot. But that doesn't mean I'm bougie, because when I think of bougie, I think of arrogant. I think of somebody who does not talk to other people, who doesn't associate with this kind of people. But I love people. Like, I make friends at random places. Why? Because my purpose is not to sit here and make millions of dollars and forget about everybody. My purpose is people. So my goal is to help them, not to tear myself apart from them. That's not how I work. But for years, that's what I believed about myself. So when people would say, "Oh, Sharice is bougie," I would laugh it off because I couldn't defend it because I didn't know that that wasn't me. And you have to believe that all the things that people say about you, A, are not true, and B, does not mean that you have to go change your character and become that. Just because people call you mean doesn't mean you have to A, be mean, or that you are mean. That's not how that has to work. You have to change, and people won't always see it. Even if you start changing yourself today, people may not even recognize it because they're so used to the old you. They're so used to the you that you've been showing the world. But that doesn't mean that that's who you are now. And level 3, understand that just because you're in a relationship does not mean that you have to change your whole lifestyle and your whole character. I know people who go into relationships and they're expecting people to fill the voids that they have from their parents or from their childhood. For me, my dad wasn't in my life. And so I would go into relationships with 2 thoughts. A, I felt like I was too independent. Don't need a man. If I got you, then you better act right because snip, snip, you know? Or B, I felt like I had to be overly submissive and take a lot of things that I did not deserve solely for the purpose because I wanted somebody to want me. I wanted somebody to fight for me like I wanted my dad to fight for me. But I can't expect that off of anybody else. Nobody can fill the voids that I had from my dad, from all these other things, but God. I can't place that on anybody else because they have their own voids and things that they need to say to God. So don't go into a relationship trying to be half, but you really want to be whole. Be whole before you get in that relationship. Understand who you are. Understand what your goals are. Understand what you want to do, who you want to be, what you want. Because if you're asking for something out of him or her that you don't have yourself, you don't need to ask that because you haven't become that. And the Bible says when people get married, the two become one. But if you're not whole yourself, you can't be accounted for as one person. You're slicing it down to 0.75 or half or 0.25 because you're not whole yourself. You're just trying to be whole for Instagram or for Snapchat or whatever, and that's not how life is. Because a lot of people are seeing your Snapchat or your Vines and things like that, and they think that's you, and that's not you because you haven't embraced you. For me, even with my natural hair, that's something that I'm really learning to embrace. Because before, when I was younger, I knew I was going to have, if I didn't have a perm, I was going to have braids or I was going to have a weave. Because I thought, number one, my hair was unmanageable. 2, my kinks and my curls were not attractive. And so I developed that. So every time I wore my hair, when I would get kickback from it or when people would say something not so great about my hair, I would immediately, okay, I need you to order my 22-inch Brazilian body weight because that's what I thought I needed to make myself beautiful and to make myself, to embrace the beauty in me. But I wasn't really embracing the beauty in me. I was embracing store-bought, Instagram, Facebook-like beauty. But if I want to, and please don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with weave. There's nothing wrong with braids. But if you can't get with the person that you are without all of that, you don't need to have it because you haven't gotten to that level where you're okay with you. Because God didn't make all that extra stuff just because. It was supposed to be an additive. But if you're already low, what are you adding to? You're not adding anything whole. It's not 1 plus something else. You're at 0.25 trying to add something. No, you got to be a 1 first. So I just wanted to encourage you guys. I'm so thankful that you watched this video. I'm so thankful that you even watched my other video. So I just want to remind you guys, please, I do have a vlog. I do have a blog. This is my vlog. But I do have a blog where I talk about a lot of the same stuff I'm going to talk about on the channel. But it's a little different. It's in written form. And please also follow me on social media at ladyambitious_. Please contact me if you have any questions, concerns, you want me to pray with you, you want some advice, whatever it is, please hit me up. I'll leave my information below. And I love you guys. Thank you guys so much, and tune in next week.